It's already been 1 week since Chapter 6 Season 2 started, and let's talk about it. Let's see if the season's actually been good or if it's been terrible. To start things off here, we're going to be talking about what the season brought to the table. What did the season kind of introduce to us that we haven't seen before, and what did it feel like at launch? And we got the introduction of a couple new weapons with guns like the collateral damage assault rifle, the plasma burst laser, the falcon eye sniper, the kneecapper, thermite, Sub-Zero's combat kit, got a porta cover in here, a pulse scanner, the med mist, the gold splashes, the black market, armored trucks, and then the gold veins. These are all things that were introduced this season that we haven't seen at all in past seasons. Overall, this new season brought a bunch of cool new items, but one to stand out is definitely the kneecapper, the most fun item of the season by far. Super fun to use, fun for rotation, fun to use with friends, fun to use in comp, best melee they've added in a very long time. Speaking of items, we can't talk about how fun a season is without mentioning things like rotation. Rotation is a big concept of what Fortnite needs to have, especially when the game kind of revolves of having action-packed fights and, you know, constantly moving around and exploring new areas. But we got the introduction of a new car here. It doesn't go crazy fast, but you can fit a bunch of people into it. We also got the cool new motorcycle with like the little sliding ability to it. The kneecapper's a rotation method, the Sub-Zero's combat kit's a rotation method, even the gold splashes and the gold mines that are around the area that increase mobility and mining damage are all great additions to the game. I would say that the rotation methods that we use this season, great. So even more rotation coming in the way. Super excited for that. Going on to POIs. Many people consider this new map the best like looking map, like visually, out of any map we've had in the past 7 years of Fortnite. The map has very colorful areas, diverse areas, vibrant areas. The biomes are different and unique. You know, there's a red biome here. And with this new season, we got the introduction of like a gold type POI area. I don't know how to describe it. I think it fits. It's something that we really haven't gotten in the past. I will say the area that it like replaced was very beautiful. It looked great. I enjoyed it. So that was an L. I think they should replace this top area here where there's like nothing going on. Like, who is going to wishy-washy here? I'm not. I know you're not. Just get rid of this shit. The POIs look good. They feel fine. I enjoy going to these POIs over anything else on the map. So I would honestly give these like a 10 out of 10 for POI. All right, here's the big one, the battle pass. The battle pass is something that everyone needs to make sure looks good if they're gonna be playing the Fortnite season, because there's no point in grinding a shitty battle pass. I'm just gonna go over what I think are the highlights of the battle pass. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know what's in it. I'm gonna throw in this glider here, even though it has been reused like what, like 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It's still a nice looking glider. Okay, it still looks cool even if the animation's been reused like 7, 8 times. W glider, the female like cone head skin is probably my favorite like aesthetically looking skin. The skin that I'd probably wear the most out of any skin in this battle pass is this one right here. It looks cool. I enjoy the kind of like a pastel looking thing it got going on. I like it. I wish there was like a way to get rid of the cone. Interested to see what the, you know, the level up styles are gonna look like. Maybe I'll grind towards them if they look cool. I don't really know yet. And the last item that I think looks good in this battle pass, and the reason I think I'd grind for it, is this guy right here. Holy shit, we got Mr. Dill himself, the goat of all pickles, man. This is the best meme skin they've added, dare I say, ever. Look at him, bro. Look at how fucking ominous he looks. Look at this. What the fuck? He's got a sick ass back bling. Aura, there's just straight aura radiating off this guy. And to make things even better, he's got a chamoy style. What the fuck, a chamoy style? Who even thought about that at Epic Games? Looks fucking amazing. Even this battle pass, a 10 out of 10 just with that skin. Okay, like a 6 out of 10. The skin kind of carries, but it, you know, can't go to 10 out of 10 with that. I'll even throw in Sub-Zero in there. I'm not a big Mortal Kombat fan, but the people that are big Mortal Kombat fans, I'm sure appreciate the skin. I've also heard good things about it on my Twitter, on my X, and I've also heard good things about it on my X and TikTok feed. So I'm not gonna bash the skin because I'm sure people are gonna get mad about it. It looks good. I'd wear it maybe like once or twice. Moving on from what the game looks like, let's talk about the game health. Enough about gameplay. Let's talk about how the competition feels like. We have to talk about game health because even if this doesn't include gameplay, it is something that we have to talk about. Marvel Rivals, Call of Duty, Repo are just a few games that currently are kind of in competition with, I'd say, Fortnite. These are games that are really popular right now. Many people are playing them. Many people are leaving Fortnite to play these games. I'm not gonna say because the season's bad, but because Fortnite's been around for so long, something fresh and new just feels good. But because there's so many popular games getting released and so many games that people are talking about, the player base of Fortnite has dropped pretty high in the last couple of weeks and even months now because of these games that are already getting released and are building up player bases. Fortnite's player base is obviously going to drop a bit, and that's okay. I don't think this really takes away from what the season feels like. What I do think it takes away from is how the game plays out. With the lower player bases, things like queuing into lobbies, queuing into ranked matches and unranked matches, this is taking a lot longer, which is obviously hurting the main player base because we are waiting here for fucking 5-10 minutes just to queue into a ranked game or into even a normal game sometimes, depending on what time you're playing. I think that's something they got to work on. With lower player base counts, they need to remove modes, need to optimize modes to make sure they're like pushing player bases to the right things to make sure everyone's queuing in and playing the game without sitting in the lobby for 10 minutes. Moving on to my next one here, we're talking about player base. Of course, this is kind of going hand in hand with the competition. The low player base count, not only does it take away players from the game, it also hurts the players that are trying to play the game. This goes tie and tie with the last one. Player base, of course, I mentioned it briefly. Not only does this have long queue times with it, when you log into Fortnite and you see how many players are playing a mode, if you see ranked has 600 players, 500, 750 players, I wouldn't even bother queuing in because I know it's going to take a long time. So I honestly either hop off the game or just play creative for the next half hour because there's nothing else to do because it's going to be a long queue time anyway. Moving on into relevancy. Moving on, let's talk about the updates aspect of the game. Last couple of years, we have been spoiled with Fortnite with how updates get released. We've used to get weekly updates and then we switch from content updates to big updates. Nowadays, we only really get one big update in the season, with the rest of them being small content updates with things like getting weapons unbolted, adding new collab skins, new collab mythics, new emotes, new modes. Most of it is really just reusable content that they've had in the past 7 years. Nothing wrong with it, but I do believe that because of this, player bases are just dwindling because of lack of new content. No one wants to reuse the same items over and over and over again. How much times they've unbolted launch pads and bolted them again just to bolt them back out? That isn't really working anymore. They can't bolt an OG item and just unbolt it and be like, okay, that's the update, enjoy the next week content, which was just the item we've used the past 7 years. For this new season, in order for it to succeed, I think they need to have a constant inflow of updates. We already have some leaked images of new weapons coming out. So far, it is looking great. I can't complain. There's nothing for me to complain about because so far it looks like we're getting a ton of new content this season. But I don't want it to be how it is normally in every past season, where there's just a big mid-season update and the rest of it is just reusable content. I think if this season pushes out constant new updates, it'll look good, it'll feel good, people will be happy, but that's a big if. Overall, I think the season looks good. It's a ton of fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm sure I'm going to be enjoying it for the next couple of weeks, as long as they keep the game fresh, updated with new weapons, new, POIs, new fun weapons, new fun items. I am enjoying it. The only reason things like player base is low is because of the competition. So if you guys think that just because the player base is low, the season sucks, give it a shot. A lot of people didn't really enjoy the last season. I personally didn't enjoy last season. I'm enjoying the new current one. Hopefully you guys feel the same way with how this season is playing out so far. As long as Fortnite keeps innovating and keeping people happy, I think the game will survive the season. And it feels like the season's even going to play out pretty well. As always, guys, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you think and what are your thoughts on the new season. I'm going to go play some Marvel Rivals. I'll catch you guys again later this week.